Hey everybody, I'm going to give you a quick tip here on something that you can do for your rabbits. Those of you that are dealing with this cold snap that we're about to have here in Florida, upper 20s, lower 30s. Some people may say, why even bother? But I've got a couple of moms with some babies in a nest box. And so I want to share something with you that may be a benefit to you, whether it's cold weather or you're trying to figure out a way to take care of those moms who may have babies they deliver on the wire. I have these little boxes that I made, and I'm going to show you how I go about doing this so that maybe you can utilize something similar. If it helps you, then awesome. And so let me show you exactly how we do that so that you may be able to embrace for this colder weather or another scenario that this may work out for you. So we're going to try and get a couple tarps up on the front and the back side of the cages that we're going to leave some rabbits outside. These are the ones that are not pregnant does with babies, and they're going to most likely be just fine with no problem at all. But I like to block some of the wind, so I've got a couple of these cages here. I'm going to have this on the front and the back, and that'll help them tremendously. But let me show you what I was going to share with you in terms of something you can use on the inside of your house to get some of your rabbits on the inside of the house, because you may not have the proper housing. So this is a cheap little fix. Some of you guys have seen these rubber tubs. This is a 27-gallon rubber plastic tub, whatever, not rubber, but it's plastic, I guess you'd say. And you can get these pretty cheaply if you go to a place like Rural King. I think I've seen them there for 12 bucks once. I got these at Costco. I think they were either 11, might have been as cheap as 10. But if you shop around like Costco, places like that, sometimes you can get it pretty cheap. But 11 bucks. You can use this on an ongoing basis. Now what I did with mine, come on in here and I'll show you. I cut out a place in the front with a multi-tool, and I framed this around. I use an adhesive underneath here. I put a 1/2 inch by 1 inch wire, and then I made a place for my feeder to go on here, jig feeder. Personally, being in the house, it's okay to have it open, but I prefer the ones that have a lid on them. This just happened to be some that they had available whenever I built these the first time. I use these little bungee cords, these small mini bungee cords that you can get from like Harbor Freight or Walmart or somewhere. And what I do is, if you look, there's a little hole there, and I just bend it through. I make a little spot here for the water bottle to go into, like that. It stays on there. And then from the front side, I'll show you what it looks like, or actually on the inside. So you can see how I did this. I use these little crown staples here so that I could fasten the wood from the inside. But here's the thing, you don't have to do this right here. You don't have to put this on yours. If you're just trying to do something cheap and you say, well, I'm not that creative, you can even drill some holes around the outside perimeter of your plastic tub. That way that they've got the ability to breathe. I like this because they're able to see out. I can kind of see what's going on the inside of the box. I call these my breeding boxes. And as you can see, you want to set it up so that your lid will go on top. The other cool thing about it is that I can take and I can stack several of these on top of each other. And if you set them up correctly, you can set it up so that you can stack several of these in your house, or maybe on a carport or something like that, where it's a little bit warmer if you're in a situation where you need it. The other thing, like I said earlier, is that there's going to be times that your does may deliver on the wire, or you got a brand new mom and you don't want to lose those babies. If you have the time to do it, you can take your babies, come in here and I'll show you what I'm talking about. You can take, these are some babies that we've got right now. So you can take these babies like this here, and you can stick a nest box with the babies, or a nest box that has no babies in it with expecting mom, and you can put it right inside. This might be a little bit more difficult to do with larger rabbits. I breed Holland Locks, but I'll show you here. There's not going to be a ton of room, but it's enough room to house them during the cold, or for a couple of nights while you're waiting on them to deliver their babies. And then the rest of this nest box, what I'm going to do, or this breeding box, what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill it full of chopped straw. You can use Carefresh, which can get kind of expensive. Usually this is good for a couple of days before it starts stinking too bad. I'll do that right there. And then I put my box in like this. I'm able to feed them from the outside. There's enough room for mom inside because I don't keep them in there for weeks at a time. This is a temporary housing solution. It works really well. I can put the lid on the top of it. And if the lid doesn't snap well, then you may have to put a little bungee or something on it. But most of these lids are pretty good. Every once in a while you get a mom that's rambunctious and wild, and you may have to put a little bungee or something heavy on the top if all you have is one. But this will be a quick housing solution if you're trying to get your pets inside, especially if it's moms that are expecting or moms that already have kits in the nest box. So hopefully that'll help you. Maybe not. It may apply to folks that are up north. I don't live up north. I'm down here in Florida, but it's worked out real good for us, and we're going to utilize this tonight. So Merry Christmas for those of you that it's that time of year if you see this video, and wish you the very best.